Further breaking news coming in Karnataka. HC stays operation of charge sheet against Congress leaders filed during the Mekedatu Padayatra. Charge sheet was filed against senior Congress leaders for violating COVID norms while taking out a Padayatra demanding implementation of the Mekedatu project. Several senior Congress leaders, including party president D K Shivakumar and leader of opposition Siddaramaiah, had been named in the charge sheet filed by the police after a case was registered under the Epidemic Diseases Act. My colleague Neha is joining us live on the broadcast for more on this. Neha, a big relief for Karnataka Congress leaders?
Well, that's absolutely right. We're now picking up that the Karnataka High Court has stayed the operation of a charge sheet that was filed against several senior Congress leaders. Let's remind you that, in fact, this was last year during the peak of COVID when we saw the Congress party taking out a Padayatra in Ramnagara district, demanding the implementation of the Mekedatu project. Back then, we saw a lot of back and forth between the government, the courts and the Congress party, after which finally the court, in fact, had to intervene, directed the government to file cases against, in fact, all the Congress leaders who were violating COVID norms. Let's also remind you that the entire event itself had turned out to be a super spreader where we saw several, people testing positive over there, most of the leaders also who were a part of the Padayatra. It's important now to mention that, in fact, the Karnataka High Court has stayed the operation of this charge sheet after the case was registered under the Epidemic Diseases Act. We then saw the government, in fact, saying that a charge sheet would be filed. As per protocol, the police was ready to file a charge sheet. But now the Karnataka High Court intervening over here and putting a stay on the operation. So definitely a big relief over here for all the senior Congress leaders, including the party president D K Shivakumar, the leader of opposition Siddaramaiah, and several other senior Congress leaders as well, who had taken out that rally, that Padayatra, during the peak of COVID last year.
Right. Neha, thank you for joining us with all those updates.